awkward because it is McKinnon. I'm sure you kind of had some like, hey, this is freaking Nathan McKinnon.
But doesn't it feel, that's like what he said, it feels weird to say you're demoting Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, I said
that's strange.
He deserves the opportunity, and let's say it's the next 4 games in 6 days. He deserves the opportunity to prove that after the Olympics, he learned some things. We haven't seen him after the Olympics. This is the first time out.
Yep.
So I think after one game, and Utah clearly laid down on the third period, is like the most boring thing ever is the third period of that game.
Last night?
Yeah,
it was brutal.
Utah just laid down. Here you go. Here's your points.
Second period
Like,
was
see you
phenomenal.
later. Yeah, second period was awesome. Third period, not as good. I want to see Nathan McKinnon back out there to see if he did learn some things. And it's him. So he affords that opportunity. Plus, I don't want to piss him off. I don't want him in his own head. He's already going to be mad about Team Canada. I'm happy about Team Canada because I love Team USA, but whatever. Nathan McKinnon can be motivated about his failures in the Olympics. I don't want him in his head of like, now they took me off the power play and like nothing. No, let him have an opportunity, and if it doesn't work because it's historically bad, then that's when you consider a change.
So I'm sorry.
No,
so when you say opportunity, are you saying, because I just got in here, guys, sorry for that. Usually I'm early. I was late today. Staggering somebody like Netches in Nate Dogg, or do you want them both still on the power play? Because how I viewed it yesterday was Netches did good without Nate Dogg.
He's taking Nate's spot.
So put Netches there at the beginning and stagger Nate Dogg. Okay, so
and like I said, it's a demotion, so you can't say anything else. Nate then just
now.
plays that left side on power play too, which you're going to get less than half of the power play ice time.
Yeah. I'm open to it. I'm curious to see how Bednar handles it, Hackstall handles it. I will say this. I was encouraged because we weren't sure exactly what we were going to get out of the Olympic guys on their way back. You see Landeskog facilitates that goal for Olofsson. You see Cale Makar setting up Netches, 2 Olympic, not teammates, but participants, and they're working together on that goal. And then you have Brock Nelson. So it's like Brock
Nelson scored twice, but only 1 counted.
I was just going to say, yeah. And it wasn't perfect, right? It wasn't perfect, but like pretty damn good. You have Brock Nelson scoring a goal, Landeskog assisting on a goal, and literally it's not one of these cheap, secondary hockey assists. Like he facilitated, made the goal happen. Cale Makar setting up Netches piping in a 92-mile-per-hour slap shot.
Come on.
I mean, really good. So by those indications, plus some rest, you would think McKinnon bursts out of the gate tonight. But I heard you say it. I heard him say it on the broadcast last night. This is a 4-point night tonight. It's a 4-point night.
It's huge tonight.
It's one of the biggest regular season games of the year. Is the sky falling if they don't win it? No. But you also don't want to minimize the importance of it. It's a big deal.
I'm excited, man, and I was encouraged with just the depth, right? We talk about how deep the lines are for the Colorado Avalanche. Parker Kelly splitting 2 defenders, scoring his goal. Come on. So it was good. So even if our guys from the Olympics started off slow, and they didn't, it was like Olofsson and Parker Kelly telling them, hey, we got your back. We're ready for this. We've been watching you guys play, and we're ready to go out here and play for ourselves and play with you guys. And so hopefully tonight you see a performance where everybody is on the same page. Is Blackwood between the pipes?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so we got Blackwood between the pipes. So what does that look like? And we go from there. But I think it's going to be a fun game. Power play, they must do something on the power play again.
Speaking of Brock Nelson, I'll give Cecil some credit, something we're going to monitor. And he set a number, and then we're like, are we actually selling him short? What was your number, 40 for Boxster?
Yeah.
40,
and
40
then
goals.
Spivak chimed in. He's like, dude, he can get 45.
On the pace that
his
he's
career
on.
high is 37.
He's on his way north of 40.
He's got 37 as career high from 2021 or whatever. He's going to pass that.
Yeah, and I saw or I read, I forget where I saw or read it, but what did he get to 30 in, was it 56 games or 54 games? Second fastest pace of his career. He has really been a revelation. They've been looking for someone like Brock Nelson for a couple years here, and that's the kicker. And I heard you guys talking about it on the way in. You have found this incredible fit, this puzzle piece that fits perfectly in Brock Nelson. But if you could reintegrate Kadri as well with the money that you saved in the Sammy G trade, and it's not about nostalgia. Cease, I heard you say that.
Yeah,
and that's right. Same thing with the Bruce thing, And I want to say something about Bruce Brown real quick, but man, it would be, they have everything. Like what else do you need?
Yeah.
You see they throw the graphics on the screen. It's like number 1 in this, number one, and this is how it's been all year. I mean, if they don't win the cup, I would venture to say this would be the most disappointing season. This one right here, because even last year, yes, it was disappointing, but they flipped quite literally half of their roster. They were the 12th team in NHL history to flip 50% of their roster from opening day to the start of the postseason.
Damn.
And in the 11 previous times that had happened, only one ever won the Stanley Cup, and I think it was 8 of the 12 were bounced in the first round. Like, so when you flip your roster like that historically, like it just the history just frowns on you. I'm not trying to make excuses because they could have got out of that round. But that being said, you have the continuity that you were missing a year ago. So if they cannot get over the hump with this core, their experience, the coach, the goaltenders, like there's going to be nowhere to turn. I'm going to be at a complete loss. This would be the most disappointing year if they don't win the Stanley Cup.
See, and that's right there. How we've talked about, Z, you and I talked about yesterday, like if the Broncos get to the Super Bowl, that still may be a success. Winning it, of course, but if you lose, if you're still there, that might be a success because you finally get there. We're not saying that about the Avs. They got to win.
Yeah.
They must win this year with everything you just laid out and having the coach and having someone like Chris McFarland that still may make a couple more moves, like Kadri, just adding somebody like that that's physical, aggressive. Like, this is it, man. This is the year.
You might be able to talk yourself into like keeping a Bednar if you get to the Cup final and lose Game 7 on this crazy goal, but outside of that, the changes are the changes if you don't accomplish what you're supposed to accomplish.
No doubt. How did it work out with your neighbor?
Oh, so
Thought about it like 3 or 4 times today. I'm like, what
somebody asked
happened
us
yesterday?
earlier. I knocked on the door and no one answered, but I'm like 99.9% sure that the 17-year-old was in there and just didn't answer the door, which says, guess what he did?
Right. Wow.
So I'll still talk
Look
to
into the
Pops if I
curtains.
see him, or
Why does he not like you, or is he just a little hooligan?
I just think it's like I said yesterday, and I think we've all been 17-year-olds, and I thought I was Billy Badass. I'm like, this guy moving in next to me? What a loser. I think that's just probably what it is.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty lame if that's what it is.
Walk around the neighborhood with my shirt off and gold chains when I'm walking my dog, so I might have the
there you go.
perception. You know?
we have a little battle. We have a little territorial. I think you got to piss on your front lawn or something. Like, mark your territory.
Here's the line.
Gold chains on.
I walk
the
around with
chest
no
up.
shirt and my gold chains.
I got to
on.
work on this tan, bros.
Oh my God! All right. How did the Denver Nuggets bounce back after their worst loss of the year and turn in one of the best wins of the year? That's next.
The champ! Are you ready? Do you consider yourself a super fan? Well, now's your chance to prove it. It's Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan Super Fan Send-Off, presented by 303 Law 4040, sending you to Las Vegas for the biggest pro wrestling event in the world. A pair of 2-night event tickets, airfare, and hotel all included, plus a $500 Visa card. So get in the ring and enter now at denversports.com/superfan. That's denversports.com/superfan.
Hey, what's up, guys? Zach here on behalf of my friends at the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic, talking to you men out there about maybe a phrase that you're not so comfortable with, and that's erectile dysfunction. Now, before you go squirming in your seat, what's more uncomfortable than hearing the phrase ED is actually living with ED. And my least favorite part of the dynamic of this conversation is just how treatable ED is, guys. It's a medical condition. Newsflash, like most other medical conditions, you can treat it. And I'm talking about treatments with success rates well over 90%. All right? So hit up the Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic. All right? They don't bite. The initial visit is just $99. That includes a medical consult, a T, and PSA test, and if medically advised, a test dose. It's real simple. If the test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit's free. Guys, you have nothing to lose. There's literally no downside. So stop living with ED. Call Rocky Mountain Men's Clinic at 720-440-7900 or visit them online at RockyMountainMen'sClinic.com.
Okay, does this happen to anybody else? You sit down with a juicy QPC, some McNuggets, and those golden fries from McDonald's. Then you take a long sip of your Sprite because you can still hear your mama saying, don't fill up on that drink before you eat your food. But you're grown now, so you do what you want.
Share and share alike with the 20-piece McNuggets from McDonald's for just $6. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
What is going on, guys? Phillip Lindsay here with the one and only Williams Jewelers. And I know there's at least 50 of you listening to me right now who might be thinking about popping that question here soon. Am I right? Well, if I am, and usually I am right about these type of things, You know you need a diamond then. So let me save you some time and money by telling you something as simple as this. Whether you're starting your next chapter with your perfect diamond engagement ring, or celebrating a new milestone, or hey, just finally doing something special for yourself for once, because everybody deserves to be spoiled, this is where it all begins. Imagine the finest jewelry legends all in one store together, making you feel just like family, and their service is going to reflect that. So come shop the finest loose diamonds in Denver. They have every size, shape, and price range you can imagine, in the largest selection of engagement ring settings I've ever set eyes on. And not only are they going to share the secret to the business with you, but they're going to give you the best price in Colorado guaranteed. So why wouldn't you want to create moments and memories for yourself and the ones you love by going to Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche, Denver's first family of fine jewelers, located in Cherry Creek North on 3rd Avenue and also in Inglewood, at Broadway, and Bellevue. And don't forget to let them know that Phillip Lindsay sent you.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textingterms.us. Texting enrolls you for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Replace stop, opt out. Terms and conditions apply to the earnings promotion.
Do you have caregiving experience as a parent, teacher, nanny, coach, or in another similar role? Hop Skip Drive is looking for experienced caregivers who want to help students in their community by driving them to and from school. Earn up to $50 per ride with Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion, all while helping your community. If you have your own vehicle that is no more than 10 years old, a clean driving record, and at least 5 years of caregiving experience, you could become a Hop Skip Drive care driver. Just text ROAD to 323232 to get started right now. Hop Skip Drive gives you the flexibility to set your own schedule and earn competitive pay. It's simple. Drive in your free time and make a real difference for students right in your neighborhood. Don't wait. Text ROAD to 323232 right now. Text ROAD to 323232 and start earning up to $50 per ride during Hop Skip Drive's welcome promotion period. That's ROAD to 323232. Text ROAD to 323232 now.
Hey guys, your boy Mark Schlereth here. Denver is Truck Month only at Bozarth Chevrolet and Celebration Chevrolet, where every new and pre-owned truck comes with a spray-in bed liner included. That's right, every new truck, every bed protected. Plus, take advantage of deeply incentivized programs on all the new and pre-owned trucks, including the new Silverado and Colorado, with offers designed for their customers to take advantage of. Work harder, play harder, drive smarter. Only at Bozarth Chevrolet and Celebration Chevrolet, your trusted partner in automotive.
Follow us on X at DEN Sports 1043 for up-to-the-minute information and opinions on all things Denver sports. Also, we can still call it Twitter, right? Denver Sports 1043 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. Denver Sports 1043 The Fan presents The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay.
Off and rolling. Here on a Thursday, February 26th, and a jam-packed show here on The Drive. What up, Phil?
Woo! What's going on, man? Thursday, Z. The time is moving. The week is moving. There's a lot to talk about. You have the Nuggets dominating. You have the Avs dominating.
How fun was that last night? Seriously.
Oh, Z, it was great. It was just like switching back and forth. All right, there's a timeout, TV timeout, because there's always a TV timeout. All right, let's go see what the Avs are doing. Oh, the Avs are doing well. There's a intermission, or what's it called?
Intermission.
Yep, there you go. That's why we keep you around, Z, to help me out.
Yeah.
You just turned to the Nuggets game, and it was fun, Z.
It was fun, man. And you know, there's that phrase, absence makes the heart grow fonder. Right? You take something out of the mix,
yeah,
and then you realize how much you appreciate it. And, you know, and honestly, like, I think of a couple things. I think of, like, ESPN. You know how people, like, get mad at ESPN? Like, oh, ESPN's so stupid. I can't, you know, all this stuff. And it's like, okay, perfect, right? Take it away. For 6 months, no ESPN, no SportsCenter, no top 10 plays, no debate show, no nothing.
You're going to miss it.
The channel goes black. I guarantee if it got reintroduced, you would have a newfound appreciation. We don't appreciate our wives on a day-to-day basis maybe the way that we should. If they went away for a week, man, we'd be opening up that front door maybe with some flowers for their triumphant return.
I'm talking about a day. I'm talking about a day. Damn, baby, where you at?
And honestly, I heard Dover say, because I know for one reason or another, someone will say, "Oh, I can't believe they said this on the Fan," or It's like, dude, we are a local radio station that cracks our mic at 6 o'clock in the morning and don't shut it off until 7 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Like, you think every market has that? I'm telling you, they don't. They don't. And so if you took it away and you're looking for live local coverage for when you found out that Sean Payton was going to give up play calling and there's no fan to turn into, because I know what? I know if I'm not here and news breaks, I'm tuning into the station that I work at.
Yes.
So I said all that to say it was so nice to have the Avs back after, how long were they off? About 2.5 weeks, maybe? I mean, February 4th was the last game. It's February 25th last night. So just to have the Avs back on my television, have the Nuggets playing the Celtics on ESPN, it was an awesome night of Denver sports, man.
No, it was a great night, and the cherry on top is both the teams won. All right, both the teams handled business the right way. Nuggets doing their part, but the Avs doing theirs. And we had so many questions about, well, are these guys in the Olympics going to play? How are they going to look? But then for them to go out on that ice and dominate, and I know the third quarter was boring, but it's gonna be like that sometime. That second period was phenomenal. The third period was not. But when you have the depth pieces like Parker Kelly and Lawson, and they find ways to score and put the puck in the back of the net, that's what it's all about in winning that game. And then you got the Nuggets doing their thing. I mean, it was fun.
Yeah, and the Nugs eventually pull away from the Celtics. Final score, not really. Like, if you just watch the first half and then shut it off, if I showed you that final score, an hour and a half later, you probably would have been shocked because the Nuggets were trailing after the first quarter. They were also trailing at halftime. And then in the third quarter, Jokic goes Jokic mode.
Flip the switch.
He absolutely did. He was so fun to watch. He scored 15 points in his third quarter stint. All right. The Celtics as a team just scored 19 points in that third quarter. All right. So that's putrid. And I thought the last couple minutes of the third quarter when Denver went on an 11-0 run, that was the basketball game right there. Boston was on the second night of a back-to-back in altitude, and they looked like it. The longer that second half dragged on, it was like, you want to know what? These guys are not going to be in the middle of the ring in rounds 13, 14, and 15.
Outlast them.
And that's what happened.
You know what, Z? It was like a breath of fresh air watching the Denver Nuggets play some defense. And I'm going to go out there and say that was probably the best damn defense the Nuggets have played this whole year.
I'm not going to argue with you.
And guess what? Peyton Watson was not available. Aaron Gordon, your two best on-ball defenders, were not there. And yet, the Denver Nuggets were still able to handle business, play great defense, very physical, playing through screens, communicating. All right, Tim Hardaway Jr., who's usually an offensive guy, is playing really good defense. Yeah, Brucey B decided, you know what, today I'm going to steal your phrase. Z, I'm going to steal your phrase right here. I'm about to wear somebody's skin. All right, that's what Brucey B was doing. He was physical.
And if you just look at the box score and you didn't watch the game, and you see 1 of 8 from the field, you're like, oh man, Bruce Brown had a rough night. Mm-hmm. Not so much. That court is cut in half. You don't get there's not like insanely more value on one end over the other. You have to play defense. And Bruce Brown, I thought, was one of the guys who led the defensive charge. His spirit, like there's a reason he played 28 minutes off the bench last night. His spirit, his physicality, his aggressiveness. I mean, everything Bruce Brown does is loud, right? He kind of reminds me of Russell Westbrook in that way.
Loud.
Where like everything is just so demonstrative, and then he's going to let you know about it. And in totality, Bruce Brown has not had like a great season up until about 1 month ago. I think he turned the corner in late January, and I can point to the Bucks game when they eked out a 2-point win in Milwaukee, and Bruce Brown had 15 points. Since then, he has been in double figures nearly every night, and when he's not in double figures, he is absolutely bringing it defensively.
And that's what you're looking for, a guy that can just set that tone, come off the bench, set the tone, bring the points when he needs to. Tim Hardaway Jr., like I said earlier, he's another one that's going to bring you the points. But defensively, that has been holding the Denver Nuggets back. All right, stopping the guys from shooting threes or at least having contested shots. That's what you want, and we saw it in that game. Now, I asked you something yesterday, Z, about the pace of the game when it comes to the Celtics and how they're a slower pace team, the slowest pace team in the NBA.
Yep.
Do you believe after the game that was a big reason why the Denver Nuggets were able to play great defense?
Yeah, you want to know what? I think it played a role. And you asked me, you say, well, how could this impact the game tonight? The fact that Boston plays the slowest pace in the league, which I didn't quite realize up until the point where you said that. I said, that will allow Denver, a team struggling mightily with their defense, to get set in their half-court defense. And when you're unsettled and you're playing like a transition game or even like secondary transition, and when I say secondary transition, it's not like an open court layup, but it's a downhill, unsettled, you're 2 or 3 passes away from a wide open shot. When you're not playing like that and you're able to get set, you're just going to be a better version of yourself. But I'll say this, Phil, it started for me less of that. And not saying it didn't play a role, because I think it did, but it was less of that and more like you saw from the opening couple possessions. It's like, okay, this team, their approach, their mindset, it was a professional, competitive, we're not going to lose this game approach. Now you rewind 48 hours or whatever it was, or when was the last time the Nuggets played was a Sunday afternoon on ABC, right, or ESPN or whatever it was against Golden State. Look at their approach that game. They're down 11-2 to largely backups with no Curry and no Porzingis and no Jimmy Butler and no Draymond Green. You can't tell me you had the right approach. And after the game, Adelman circles back and said, we didn't lose the game because of how we closed in the clutch. We lost the game in the first half. Should have never been that close. And it was the complete opposite mindset just from, again, the mindset of that approach. It was competitive. It was professional. They were up for a fist fight, and that's what it looks like. So I loved it. If you want to say that was their best defensive game of the year, which you said a couple minutes ago,
I want to say it. Z.
I mean, I'd have to go back and really look at it, but holding the Boston Celtics to 84 points in 2026 is rather remarkable.
I mean, think about it. The start of the game, Jamal Murray's there, and then 8 minutes into the game, Jamal Murray's not.
Right.
Illness.
Right.
Something that we have to watch out for.
That
with
dude
Jamal.
gets sick. That dude gets sick more than any pro athlete that I've covered. I'm being serious. He gets sick more than any pro athlete I've covered.
That's how I feel now. After playing in the NFL and doing all that and being an athlete, now I'm just a dad. Now I'm just a guy. I get sick every other week. But you're right. Jamal Murray is going to get sick at least twice a year.
He got sick twice last year in the postseason. Yeah. Twice just in the postseason alone. First round, second round.
These sicknesses, man, I tell you, they're strong.
But I'll say this too, and shame on us for getting this far into a segment without mentioning Nikola Jokic's name. None of this is possible without Jokic. And you could see clearly his mindset flipped once Jamal left the game. You got the big boy aggressive version of Nikola Jokic, 28 field goal attempts for the Joker. And it wasn't his most efficient night from three, but at the end of the day, your team was down your second best player, just like their team is down their guy, and obviously for a longer duration of the year. But to go out there and score 30 points, 12 rebounds, 6 assists, and what did he do last night that he hasn't been doing? He took care of the basketball. Just one turnover.
Just relax. He's more relaxed. All right, understands what he needs to do. You're right. Once Jamal Murray went out, it was like, okay, I have to take over. And you know what? Ever since you've talked about Jokic and just his action, his body language, it was a lot different last night.
I agree.
He wasn't complaining. He wasn't talking to the refs all the time. The body language was more like, hey, I'm a concerned player that the team is not right. We need to be more consistent, and it starts by beating the Celtics' ass today. And it was just a different approach by Jokic all around.
Absolutely love it. All right, that was much needed for the win column and just for the spirit of the basketball team after what happened on Sunday, which was arguably the worst loss of the season. Okay, a future starting member of the Denver Broncos may be on the field as we speak. That's next.
By trading away Sam Girard, Are the Avalanche preparing to make another big move at the deadline?
Look, we got to figure out what he's going to do on the ice, but I think this is a smart move. You're getting out of a contract. You're getting out of a player that's a little bit of a liability when the postseason comes because of that size on the back end. You're getting a little bigger, and you're getting freed up money at the end of the season. I think this is a really good first move from Chris.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach here on behalf of my friends at the Basketball Social House. Truly one of the most unique spots anywhere in the world, not just Colorado, all right? I'm talking award-winning food and drinks. The brunch is out of this galaxy. Trust me, all right? But what really sets it apart is that it's the first of its kind sports bar and entertainment experience, literally the only of its kind. And don't get it twisted. This place isn't just for hoopers. Even if you never touch a basketball, it's an awesome spot to eat, drink, hang out, and catch the game. But if you do want to play, you can book your own private basketball suite with a court, lounge seating, music, TVs, and more. It's perfect for parties, birthdays, or just an upgraded night out. It's also one of the best places in Colorado to watch big games with what might be the best happy hour in the state every single day from 7 p.m. to close. You can find them at 7450 South University Boulevard in Centennial, or check them out online at thebasketballsocialhouse.com. And because you heard it from me, get half off your first private basketball suite rental when you use the code HALFOFFHOOPS. Trust me, this place is a slam dunk.
Hi, I'm Terrell Davis, two-time world champion and Pro Football Hall of Famer. There is nothing more important than your health. That's why I made the smart move to invest in fitness equipment with Fitness Gallery. It's a game changer.
This February, save 25% off all primetime functional trainers, home gyms, and racks. Work out on your schedule on the equipment you choose from the safety and comfort of your own home. Save up to 50% off on select premium equipment. Visit one of Fitness Gallery's 7 convenient locations from Colorado Springs to Fort Collins.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today, 720-204-8100. That's 720-204-8100.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to A to Z Savings, our biggest sale of the year.
Happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with Duralast rotors.
Free? Really?
Really? Free.
I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah. How much is that?
Free with the oil.
Free? Really?
Really. Free. It's part of A to Z Savings with hundreds of deals.
From A to free.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Ends March 9. Restrictions apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-771-1300. That's 800-771-1300.
Your heat seems to be running a lot more than it should. Why? You might be surprised to learn it's because the insulation in your windows has failed. When that happens, your heat leaks out and the cold gets in. Talk to the pros at Window Nation and get new windows with big savings during Window Nation's Buy 4 Windows, Get 4 free sale. Plus, you could get them with 0 down, 0 monthly payments, and 0 interest for 2 years. And ask how you could get a pair of Icon Pass 2-day sessions. Don't wait to put an end to your window problems. Schedule a quote now at windownation.com.
It's Chuck Devine with snowcountry.com. Sponsor your job on Indeed. Get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today. Fresh snows are happening much more frequently over the last couple of weeks, and that includes Loveland. They picked up a foot of fresh snow since the start of the week and 5 inches since yesterday on 69 pack powder trails with 75% of their terrain. And Winter Park just got 4 inches fresh. They're up to 80% of their slopes, 131 pack powder trails. Aspen Mountain with a 1.5 feet fresh since this time last week and snowmass on 95% of their terrain. Cooper just picked up 3 inches of fresh snow and they're skiing and riding on 42-pack powder trails. Copper Mountain got 3 inches fresh. Monarch with 4 inches of fresh snow, putting a little extra cushion on their steeps at Mirkwood Basin. Check out the brand new trails at No Name Basin at Monarch. Wolf Creek, all 42 miles on a 7-foot base with pack powder and softer spring snow. Get more at snowcountry.com.
Try the new Chicken Bacon Ranch Street Chalupas with slow roasted chicken twice at Taco Bell. They only come as a pair at participating Taco Bell U.S. locations for a limited time while supplies last.
This segment on 104.3 The Fan's brought to you by Williams Jewelers, the official jeweler of the Colorado Avalanche.
You're listening to The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
A future starting member of the Denver Broncos may be on the field as we speak. We're hanging out in the studio. We just flipped it to the NFL Combine, and we're watching some of these D tackles move around. And as they show,
Real quick, Caleb Banks on the screen. I'm mentioning Caleb Banks' name because Mel Kiper in his first mock draft had the D tackle from Florida being drafted by the Denver Broncos at 30. And you just see the way that, like, you should not, at these D tackle size, it should be physically impossible to move around like these guys move. And 20 years ago, it wasn't like this.
No.
Just this era of football, the level of athlete, they're not these big, fat, like I remember these guys, like I used to watch growing up, like Sam Adams. I don't know if people remember that name.
Big boy.
It's like a house, and you're just eating space. Nowadays, if you're not trimmed down and have a level of athleticism that, like, 30 years ago was reserved for basketball players, like, you can't be on an NFL field anymore.
I'll tell you what, Z, the steroids are just a little bit better now than they were back in the day.
Come on.
They're just a little bit better. They're faster.
These guys are freaks.
Oh, man, and it shows you, and I tell my young players that are getting ready for the NFL, I say, look, as a running back, you have to understand that you are never in the clear. You could be running down the sideline 20 yards, 30 yards down the sideline thinking, okay, if I get past this safety, get past this cornerback, I'm good. No, you still have the defensive tackles and the defensive ends chasing you down because they're taught, like, you need to continue to run. You need to keep going after the ball because you never know when you're going to come catch that guy, knock the ball out, do whatever you can to change the momentum of that game. So these guys are just on another level, and I'm glad I'm with you watching them and not out there trying to stop them.
Yeah, or run away from these guys.
Or run away from them.
I mean, it's next level. So today, we told you guys about this earlier in the week, but today is for defensive tackles and off-ball linebackers, both of which the Denver Broncos could be in the market for, both positions.
Yeah.
And you look at the actions of the Denver Broncos out at the Combine this week, we know that the Broncos have met with Ohio State's Sonny Styles, okay, which will probably not be there, probably. But anything can happen. Defensive players get pushed down in this era of the NFL draft. But he's forecasted as a top half of the first round. Speaking of Sonny Styles from Ohio State, the Broncos have met with Missouri's Josiah Trotter. They have met with Oregon linebacker Bryce Betcher.
That sounds like a linebacker name.
It does.
It sounds like a linebacker. Come on.
They've met with Georgia's C.J. Allen. All right, which we have seen mocked to the Denver Broncos as well. I saw Joel Klatt likes that fit here in Denver. Cincinnati's Jake Godley, all right? I like him. I've spent 15 minutes watching him this morning. Texas Tech's Jacob Rodriguez, who was somehow in Heisman conversation at certain points in the season.
Very versatile, man. He was all over the place.
So fun to watch.
Ooh-wee.
Like, it's like certain people like Hufunga's like this, you feel the spirit of them watching them play.
Yeah, you do.
And with Jacob Rodriguez, like you could feel his spirit watching Texas Tech play. Pretty cool.
Man.
So the Broncos have met with him. They have sat down with formal interviews. And this is in play. This is very, very much in play. I think D tackle is for sure, but the need at off-ball linebacker, inside linebacker, it's massive. It's what Sean Payton would call a must, whether it's first round or otherwise.
A must, or you know what? A have to have. Like, you have to get an inside linebacker. No matter what you do, whether you bring back Justin Sternad or you bring back Alex Singleton, you need a young, fresh inside linebacker that can grow behind them. Because what I just said there, and also, you can't trust Dre Greenlaw to stay healthy for a full season. So, like, if I'm the Denver Broncos, I'm looking at an inside linebacker in the first round. Defensive tackle, I won't be too upset with, but let's go out there, get a fresh inside linebacker, because it just like the tight end position, finding a really good inside linebacker is hard to do.
Sure.
Because of what you're asking them to do. They have to stop the run. They have to be able to fit up and take on blocks against these linemen that are 300-plus pounds. They have to be as fast as a running back to stay with them and cover them when their hips have to be a certain way. They have to be smart enough to be able to dissect what's going on, be able to relay the message, because usually they're the quarterback of the interior, right? They're the quarterback of the defense. They have that green dot that I talk about. And what the green dot is, guys, it's the microphone, right? The coaches are talking through this microphone, telling the inside linebacker, this is what I want ran. I want a 4-3, cover 3 with the Mike Blitz. Can you do that for me? So that's exactly what you're looking for with your inside linebacker. Fast, physical, big enough, so he wants to be around 230, 240, and is he smart, instinctive? Can he do things the right way? And a lot of times those young ones, it takes time for them to grow, to develop, just like anyone else.
Well, here was George Payton this week on if there are linebackers in this class that he thinks can play right away.
I think so. I think this is a pretty good linebacker class. I mean, it is a tough position for a rookie to come in and play right away, especially with some of the things we do. But yeah, I do like the depth of this class. I do. And so we'll see. Again, it's early in the process. We interviewed those guys last night. It was a sharp group, definitely.
Sharp group and a deep group.
Yeah.
So I think we need to keep that in mind. And I know you're saying, hey, you can get one in the first round, and clearly they can. But if they choose, you can wait on this position because it is a deep group. Now, it was supposed to be a deep tight end group last year.
That is true.
And the Broncos didn't take one. Well, they technically took one late, but he was a basketball player.
All alone, right? Loner.
Yes, Caleb Loner. And I said next year he will have 52 friends because he's going to make the team. He won't be a loner anymore. But like, with this specific group in this specific year, you might be able to just hang tight, draft a more quote-unquote premium position in the first round, be it tight end or defensive tackle, offensive lineman, what have you, and just wait, because you might have like a Kyle Lewis from Pittsburgh or Deontay Lawson from Alabama that you'll be able to get maybe in the second or third round.
No, Z, don't wait. Don't wait to participate. Just go out there and get you one. If that's the guy that you really want, don't mess around with it. Don't mess around with your food. Don't play around with it. Get the guy that you want, especially if you think he can be an impact player right now. Because like George got done saying, what I just got done saying, it's very hard to find that inside linebacker that you truly think he can start. But if you don't think so, and you think you're going to bring back Alex Singleton, Justin Sternad, and this guy's going to be able to brew behind one of them, then for sure, go get that defensive tackle, that tight end. I'm okay with that.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because George was asked, how will this inside linebacker class, this strong, deep class, will that impact their decisions with Sternad and with Singleton? And this is what George said.
Yeah, I mean, those like Alex and Justin, I mean, those guys we'd love to have those guys back. We'd love to have them back. I mean, those, regardless of what's in the draft, these are guys, we see those guys as Broncos. If we let those guys leave, what do we do? Those are good dudes. And that doesn't mean we can get them, right? I mean, everyone's watching tape. But, yeah, you look at both. I mean, when you're getting your plan for free agency, you look at the draft. Where's it strong there? Okay, maybe it's strong, a receiver, maybe, so it's just, it is a balance, and you do develop your plan. So it is a good question. But with some players, man, you just want to get back regardless of the strength,
You hear there in the middle of the response, like, hey, if we don't bring those guys back, like, what do we? And then he kind of stopped and then kind of kept going. Do you think that was because it's lying season?
It is.
Right. Do you think that was an organic tell or slip when he's just talking? It's like, yeah, like this is a deep class, but these guys can play. These guys are Broncos. Like we let those guys get away. What do we? You know what? Let me just not say that.
Yeah, no, I think that like he's being sincere. Like he does want to have those guys back because Dre Greenlaw said it. If you remember, Dre Greenlaw seemed like he struggled at the beginning to really understand what VJ wanted done in his defense because it's just different.
Yeah,
Justin Sternad, Alex Singleton, they've been a part of VJ's defense for a very long time. Now, what he's saying is, my guessing is he's going to bring one back for sure. But who is it going to be? I believe it's going to be Justin Sternad because it's about the depth. Justin Sternad can do a lot more for you as a special teams player, but as a cover inside linebacker. But also, I still don't look at Justin Sternad, and maybe it's because he told me he would trade me, but I don't look at him as a bona fide starter. I look at him as a guy that you can place all around the field at the linebacker position. He's a great filling guy, but also a guy that can fill in there and tell your rookie inside linebacker is up to par. So I think that they can bring someone like Justin Sternad back at the beginning of the year and then place this new inside linebacker in the middle of the year when he's really ready to go.
All right, we'll wait and see, and we don't have to wait long. I mean, free agency less than 2 weeks away, and it's going to unfold organically right before our eyes. All right, we've come a long way when it comes to one relationship or perceived relationship within the Denver Broncos. I want to talk about that next.
Should upgrading the running back room be the top priority for Sean Payton this offseason?
This is not some Christian McCaffrey deal, but it's also not some bargain shopping. It's somewhere in between. You need to address this with a heavy hand. Breece Hall represents that. He's number one on my free agent big board.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, National Western Complex. Be advised, this is your opportunity to save up to 40 to 80% on a hot tub or swim spa. This weekend only, Friday through Sunday, National Western Complex. 18-month interest-free financing. Our factories have demanded we sell 1,000 hot tubs and swim spas this weekend. National Western Complex. Huge factory incentives, factory rebates, this weekend only. National Western Complex. We can remove your old hot tub. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Deep, deep discounts. National Western Complex. Free delivery of your new hot tub. Just relax and enjoy. National Western Complex. Friday, 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. Sunday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Free admission, free parking, free delivery. National Western Complex. Call 833-SPA-SALE or visit hottubandSwimSpaSale.com.
Hey guys, it's Mark Schlereth. I just made one of the best decisions of my life. I got rid of my glasses. I went to Cutarelli Vision and had refractive lens exchange, RLE. I wore glasses for distance vision, but I got to that inevitable point in life where I was always needing those reading glasses just to do about anything, and half the time I couldn't find them. Seeing menus, texting, reading my computer, or studying film, it was a struggle. But now I see the world perfectly, near and far, without any glasses, thanks to Cutarelli Vision RLE, the perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top. You'll never develop a cataract. Dr. Cutarelli is Colorado's most experienced with over 90,000 vision correction procedures. You can trust him to know if it's the right time for you and RLE. Schedule your free Zoom consultation at coloradorle.com. Cutarelli Vision, RLE, no readers, glasses, or contacts, or cataracts. coloradorle.com.
Imagine finding your dream home and moving in right away. No waiting to sell your old place first. Sounds perfect, right? That's exactly what Orchard's Move First, Sell Later program lets you do. Buy your new home now and sell the old one later. Here's how it works. Orchard gives you cash so you can buy and move into your new home first, on your timeline. No waiting, no showings, no double moves. Then the Orchard experts take it from there. They handle repairs on your old home for you so you attract the right buyers. Once they're done, a local Orchard agent lists and sells your home for top dollar. Orchard's Move First program gives you the freedom to buy and move into your new home first and sell your old home later. Buy before you sell and get top dollar for your home with Orchard. Ready to find out how much your home is worth? Visit Orchard.com to get your free home valuation. That's Orchard.com.
Cecil Lammy here for SodaWeightLoss.com, and they changed my life so much. I know how to eat, what to eat, and when to eat thanks to SodaWeightLoss.com. I lost over 60 pounds a few years ago, and I'm never going back. Having my own nutritionist made all the results. A real person, so I could go with questions, concerns, and maybe just even sometimes just need some encouragement. Join Soda Weight Loss for a short time to have results that last a lifetime, just like me. Call them up at 1-866-800-SODA, SodaWeightLoss.com. Soda Weight Loss is, say it with me, state-of-the-art.
A lot of personal injury lawyers make claims about how good they are. But how do you know who's the best? Who will fight to get you the money you deserve? At Berg Simpson, we don't rely on simple claims like other firms. We have 27 best lawyers in America, 17 super lawyers, and we're one of the National Trial Lawyers' top 25 most influential law firms. Compare us to other firms, then call Berg Simpson.
If you've been injured, call Berg Simpson for free now at 303-790-2525. BergSimpson.com. Good lawyers changing lives.
Stream Stokely and Evans with Mark Schlereth, Dover and Cecil, The Drive, and all your favorite shows on the Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan app. Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan, DenverSports.com, and the Denver Sports app. It's The Drive with Zach By and Phillip Lindsay on Denver Sports 104.3 The Fan.
We've come a long way when it comes to one relationship, or maybe a perceived relationship.
You said long, huh?
Come a long way, yeah.
It's been a long time coming, and now the relationship seems to be healthy.
Do you remember? Like the conversations when Sean Payton first got to Denver. It was like, George has about 5 minutes left here on the job. George Payton has about 5 minutes left, and he's going to get blown out. He absolutely fumbled the Russell Wilson contract. All right. He hired the single worst coaching hire in the history of the franchise in Nathaniel Hackett. And it made a mockery of the Broncos. The Broncos, they were more than just a losing season or losing team in 2022. They were the laughingstock of the NFL in a way that I don't know if that had ever happened quite like that before.
And it was just under new ownership. So you had all that going on. And it was like, what in the world? What's going on with the Denver Broncos? Like, they were already at rock bottom. What's worse than rock bottom? And now look at what the Denver Broncos are doing. Look at what the ownership group has done for this team. Look at George Payton and what he has done for this football team. And, of course, Sean Payton getting this team one game away from the Super Bowl. I mean, things have changed. 180 turn.
180 turn.
180 turn. We've come a long way from that one, too.
You've come a long way.
It's been a long.
Phil's first year, he would say, man, he did a 360 turn. I'm like, so he's facing the same direction that he was originally.
Between that and Mike Kliss, when I asked Mike Kliss the Denver Nuggets question.
Oh, my gosh. That was another just classic Phil first year on the job. Interviewing, I guess kind of interviewing. Just talking to Mike. And you're like, forgot your question or whatever it was. You're like, so the Nuggets tonight. Like, what do you think? And Kliss was like, what's going on over there? Nuggets. Oh, my gosh. But yeah, like for the obvious dynamics, George Payton wasn't even in the interview for Sean Payton. And so there's a reason that we were forecasting that George was going to be out. These were gashes to the organization, not paper cuts. And then you fast forward to this week, February 2026, and Sean Payton is asked, hey, would you advocate for George Payton to get a contract extension?
I have already, yeah. So, it's overdue. I say that respectfully to the process, but he and I have a great working relationship, and so my job wouldn't be as fun or as exciting if he wasn't a part of it. But that should be something that gets handled quickly.
I mean, whoa.
Sean has spoken.
Yeah, I already have. It's overdue. I say that respectfully to the process.
Yeah.
But that is one of those things. If I turn back the hands of time, used to be a great song from R. Kelly, by the way. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, we can't say
that. And then we have to cancel R. Kelly. It's like, no, we can't. Nope, we can't endorse your music anymore, bud. But if you turn back the hands of time, and I fast forward to the first month that Sean got hired, and I said, hey, this is what Sean Payton is going to say about general manager George Payton in February 2026, and played it for people, he'd be like, wait, what?
Yeah, I'd be like, you're insane.
But that's where we're at.
Relationships, they build over time when you give them a chance. Right? It's like a flower, right? There's a seed there. You start to water it. It grows a little bit. You water it some more with a little bit of sun, and it's beautiful. And that's what it seems like when it comes to George Payton and Sean Payton, is like they have this great relationship that continues to build. And both of them together, one, with the draft and picking the right players, two, getting the right guys going for free agency. I think a lot of that has to do with Sean with the free agency part, Sean Payton.
Sure.
And a lot of the draft has to do with George. So you have two guys combining their minds and what they do best with. And look at it, man. The Denver Broncos are on the right track. The Denver Broncos were one game away from the Super Bowl. The Denver Broncos have a damn franchise quarterback. And the Denver Broncos are talked about like, hey, it's Super Bowl or bust type of year next year. Not just because of those guys on the football field, although a lot of it has to do with them, but it's the healthy relationship between general manager and head coach. And we're seeing it right in front of our eyes.
Here was George Payton when he was asked, hey, do you appreciate Sean going to bat for you, talking about your extension?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're so busy, this time of year, and the season went longer, which is cool, but the off season gets condensed, and so we've been rolling. I mean, that's really cool. It's not, it'll happen when it happens. I'm not too worried about it. We got a lot going on this off season. Have a busy off season.
It'll happen when it happens. Not too worried about it.
Yeah.
Is this is sort of like a foregone conclusion, right? This isn't really being debated the way that it. You want to know what? It's crazy because it wasn't debated years ago because you didn't really have a footing to defend his horrible moves, and then time passes, and then it's like, okay, good draft pick. Another good draft pick.
Yeah.
Man, how did you find, Jonathan Cooper in the 7th round? How did you find Devon Vele in the 7th round and flip him for a 4th? And you drafted a Division III offensive lineman?
Yeah, right there. It's like, wow.
And he becomes first-team All-Pro? You draft the Defensive Player of the Year? Like once in every, once a generation, a cornerback wins Defensive of the Year. And that was your pick before Sean ever even got here? And don't tell me it was a layup. He wasn't even the first corner taken off the board. And so by just stacking, and this is much like life, like by just stacking good decisions, hard work, you get to a point where now it's not debated on the other end of the spectrum. You have the head coach saying, I've already advocated this extension's overdue. And I do, and I have to mention this too. I think that George Payton and Greg Penner have a great relationship.
I'm with you on that, Z. I think a lot of it has to do with that. Now, you look at, like, is this going to get done? I believe it's going to get done. If George himself wants to be here, because there's been a bunch of speculation that, hey, George may not be here next year. He may go with the Minnesota Vikings. But if George wants to be here, I think a lot of it has to do with the relationship with George and Greg Penner and how well that's going, on top of a good relationship with Sean, and it's only getting better from there.
All right, if you want to react to that, you can hit us up on the RamosLaw.com text line, 303-713-1043. How did the greatest era of Nuggets basketball get so toxic that it was blown up? Calvin Booth says the story isn't being told the right way. You'll hear from the former GM next.
After another underwhelming season from the tight end room,
should the Broncos bring in another dynamic playmaker?
Cade Otton is a guy that I really like, that I really think can play, and that I think would be one of those guys that provides duality for you as an offense, something you really haven't had. He's a threat in the passing game, but like I said, willing participant when it comes to blocking.
Denver Sports 104.3. The Fan.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Zach By here. For 5280 Exteriors, Colorado homes face more risk than ever from intense weather, including wildfire exposure. 5280 Exteriors prioritizes fire-resistant, non-combustible, low-maintenance exterior upgrades with reliable quality installations. Protect your home with James Hardy siding, TimberTech decking, and Pella Impervia fiberglass windows, all designed to stand up to heat, weather, and time. They also offer 60 months no-interest financing. 5280 Exteriors, the altitude of quality.
Dan Jacobs with 303 Law 4040 and Jacobs Law with another cool story to share. James called 303 Law 4040, and he's like a lot of our clients, not looking to get rich, but he just didn't want to get stuck with a bunch of medical bills. So we met with James like we do all of our 303 Law 4040 clients in person, and it's a good thing we did because we noticed James did not look so good. We sent him to the hospital to get checked out, and they did wind up admitting him. In the end, we got him feeling better and $125,000. He was over the moon. He came into the office to pick up his check and rang that victory bell. And the really cool part is James surprised us with a check of his own, a donation so we could keep the best free meal in Denver coming each and every first and third Thursday. If you've been injured, you may be like James, not looking to get rich, but not sure what to do. That's why we're here to help. Just give us a call at 303-LAW-4040. Go ahead, save that number in your phone. You never know when you're going to need it. That's 303-LAW-4040.
Still haven't filed your taxes? Hey, you're not the only one. A lot of good people fall behind. But here's the thing. The longer you wait, the harder the IRS can hit back. Penalties stack up. Interest piles on. The letters get more aggressive. None of it magically disappears. It's why I always tell folks, call my friends at Advanced Tax Solutions. These are not generalists. They don't dabble in tax problems. They live in this world. Resolving IRS issues is all they do. Maybe you're 1 year behind. Maybe you're 10. Maybe you've got unfiled returns, wage garnishments, bank levies, or you're just losing sleep wondering what the IRS is going to do next. Their licensed tax professionals can step in fast, talk to the IRS for you, stop the stress, and start putting a real plan in place. And listen, waiting never makes it better. Every day you delay is another day the IRS gets to tighten the screws. One quick call to Advanced Tax Solutions, that could be the start of a quick resolution. So take control of your tax situation before the IRS does. Reach out to Advanced Tax Solutions today and breathe again.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I say